today I have a whole lot of information I desire to reel out. I checked and I found I couldn't just put it through and give it to us off the cuff. So I'm going to be having to do a bit of quite a number, of looking through my device right here and of communicating with us. So I don't want you to get distracted by, oh, why is she looking down? Why is she not looking at me? Hey, you're the one on my mind. And that's the most important place I want it to be, on my mind. Okay? It goes without saying that writers are drawn to language. But because we love words so much, the English language is filled with wordplay. By interrogating the complexities of language, homophones, homographs, words with multiple meanings, sentence structures, etc., writers can explore new possibilities in their work through a play on words. Where is my excitement? I wouldn't leave the house without it. Not allowed. And of course, not even the team here would allow me come on set without my excitement. Hello again, valued viewer. I believe that you're keeping well, because right here, we are keeping well. Thank you indeed for joining us on yet another rewarding installment of The Bookshelf, beaming to you live from the studios of Western Spring Television. I am super excited to be back on this set and, of course, doing it bigger and better as we always give our word, and so helps us God to continually do that, doing it bigger and better on The Bookshelf. The Bookshelf is a platform where we get to relate with, because somebody said deal. We'll be talking about the play on words in the course of today's broadcast, and maybe some other time we'll look at it from other angles. But today we'll be having an opening into the world of the word play. How is that? The world of word play. I like that. My name is Damilola Raphael. I am super delighted to be your humble host right here on The Bookshelf, your teaching and learning advocate right here on The Bookshelf, live from the studios of Western Spring Television. Today we are going to be looking at wordplay. WORDPLAY, wordplay. Remember, the charge, the mandate, the focus for this new season we are on has been prioritized. Okay, and I gave my word. I don't forget when I do give my word. I give my word that we are going to be looking at how that word was born for us to the charge, to have that charge for this new season that we are in. So we're going to be dealing with that today, and that's talking about word play. That's our focus, the topic for today, the word play. So let's dig into it, shall we? Good. Word play, also written as word play, one word. Okay, so word play, separate words, also written as one word, word play. Word play with a hyphen in the middle, or a play on words, is when a writer experiments with the sounds, the definitions, and or construction of words to produce a new and interesting meaning. In other words, the writer is twisting language to say something unexpected with the intent of entertaining or provoking the reader. It should come as no surprise that many wordplay examples were written by Shakespeare. One such example comes from Hamlet. Okay? Sometime after Polonius is killed. Now, for those of you who followed the book, okay, or you followed the series, because sometimes or you followed, okay, sometimes you just find it more interesting to watch the movie or the play, as it were. Okay, sometime after Polonius is killed, Hamlet's uncle Claudius asked him where Polonius is, and then the following dialogue of course ensued, and I'll just be reading and letting us in. I really wanted to do a lot of bringing you the pictures so you could see and all that, but it seems to not just be working, and no matter what it is, we just have to come on and do this today, and here we are. So let's go. King Claudius. Now, Hamlet, where is Polonius? Hamlet is responding, at supper. King Claudius now, at supper? Where? Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. a certain convocation of politic worms are eating at him. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat us, and we fat ourselves for maggots. Your fat king and your lean beggar is but variable service. 2 dishes, but to 1 table. That's the end. Now the line, not where he eats, but where he is eaten. Not eating, ing, eaten, en, okay? Is a play on words, drawing the audience's attention to Polonius' death. He is not eating, but he is being eaten, consumed by the worms. This play on the meaning of eat utilizes the verb's multiple definitions to consume versus to decompose. Wordplay isn't just a way to have fun with language. It's also a means of creating new and surprising meanings. By experimenting with the possibilities of sound and meaning, writers can create new ideas that traditional language fails to encompass. Let's see wordplay in action. I'll be itemizing a few play on words, all coming from various published works of literature. So not like they're my ideas, my ideas, okay? So let's start with the first one, antimeria, A-N-T-H-I-M-E-R-I-A. Antimeria is a type of wordplay in which a word is employed using a different part of speech than what is typically associated with that word. I hope you got that. Antimeria is a type of wordplay in which a word is employed using a different part of speech than what is typically associated with that word. I'll give us 2 examples. There are quite a number of it, from verb to noun, from noun to verb, from noun and verb to adjectives, okay? So let's do the first one. I'll give us 2 basically, nouns to verbs and noun verb to adjective. Okay, so for the nouns to verb, I will unhair thy head. I'll unhair thy head. Now, if you're not a Shakespearean, oh, I'm sorry. But come on, bird. You can still play catch up, right? Okay, good. Now, of course, unhair is not a word at all, but it is using hair as a verb. Now, what part of speech would you say the hair is? Noun. It is the name of a thing, right? So it is using hair, which is a noun, as a verb in that context, and then using the opposite of that verb to express scalping someone's hair off. What is the opposite? You know, you have the UN, the on, you have the DIS, you have the DE, you have the MIS. Should I be going into all those prefixes, suffixes, and all that? Yeah, okay, so that example is from the Antony and Cleopatra Part 2, page 5 by Shakespeare. Let's use the antimeria now, nouns and verbs as adjectives or to adjectives. The parishioners about here, continues Mrs. Day, not looking at any living being, but snatching up the brown delft tea things, are the laziest, gossipest, poachest, jailest set of any ever I came among. And that example is from Under the Greenwood Tree by Thomas Hardy. So let's move on to another one, talking about wordplay. There are quite a number of them, but I was able to select a few. Some of them we are used to, actually, and you get to hear them much later. Just follow through with me. Double entender. Double entender. A double entender is a form of wordplay in which a word or phrase is used ambiguously, meaning that the reader can interpret it in multiple ways. A double entender usually has a literal meaning and a figurative meaning, with both meanings interacting with each other in some surprising or unusual way. In everyday speech, the double entender is often employed sexually. Indeed, writers often use the device lasciviously, and bawdy bards like Shakespeare won't hesitate when it comes to dirty jokes. Number 3, I've given us 2 now. So what's the first one? You're not writing. How do you expect yourself to remember all those things? Okay, so the first one right there is antimeria. The second one is double entendre. Okay, someone is saying, okay, so it's double entendre that is because it's number 2. Well, it just happened. That's a coincidence. So let's take on the third one, which is kenning. The kenning is a type of metaphor that was popular among medieval poets. It is a phrase, usually 2 nouns, that describes something figuratively, often using words only somewhat related to the object being described. I'll take that again. The kenning is a type of metaphor that was popular among medieval poets. It is a phrase, usually 2 nouns, that describes something figuratively, often using words only somewhat related to the object being described. Now, if you have read Beowulf, you've seen the kenning in action, and you know that in translation, some kennings are easier understood than others. The kenning is a play on words because it uses marginally related nouns to describe things in new and exciting language. And at some point in that particular text, Beowulf, I would just be giving some of the kennings that occurred right there. Are you ready? Okay, so the first one I have here is sword sleep. Sword sleep, and basically it means death. Okay, another one is battle shirt. What comes to your mind? Battle shirt. I wish I had someone I could put on the hot seat and, you know, just start getting the responses. How fast can you deliver? Battle shirt, that's an armor. Battle sweat, that's blood. Earth hole, that's burial mound. Raven harvest. Raven harvest. Raven, that's cadaver, right? Corpse. Okay. Ring giver, that's the king. Okay, for the seal. Okay. Sail road. Sail road. Sail and road. Okay, so it should be route, right? Okay, so we're talking about the sea. Sea clothes, that's sail. And sky candle, that is the sun. All right, so we have more. I would definitely talk about malapropism. I'll talk about oxymoron and some others, but at least I've given you hints on 2 points that I'll be mentioning. I'll go on this very, very quick phrase. I'll come back on the other side of it and be giving you more gist as we have them coming through, discussing wordplay today on the bookshelf. Stay with us. Thank you very sincerely for keeping faith with us. Right here is still the bookshelf on Western Spring Television. And here is your teaching and learning advocate, Damilola Raphael, discussing today wordplay. So I promised I was going to talk about malapropism. Very quickly, malapropism is a device primarily used in dialogue. It is employed when the correct word in a sentence is replaced with a similar sounding word or phrase that has an entirely different meaning. This particular one, sometimes we actually do find ourselves using malapropism, and then we just use it in regular speech and we are thinking it's right until we meet somebody who has more knowledge than we do, who has more authority on that particular subject matter than we do. Then we realize we've actually been saying the wrong thing. Okay, so you know where you hear in this part of the world, idea is need. That's malapropism. All right, let's move on to oxymoron. It is a self-contradictory phrase, pure and simple. It's usually just 2 words long, with each word's definition contrasting the other ones despite the apparent meaning of the words themselves. For instance, you hear, let me use our example in the media world, live recording. If you're live, you're live. If you're recording, you're recording. So it's live recording, okay? Then, of course, only option. Only option. Option is supposed to be more than one, right? And then we're saying only option, okay? Let's move on and talk about palindrome. It is a wordplay device not often employed in literature, but it is a language at its most entertaining and can provide interesting challenges to the daring poet or storyteller. Another one here is the paraprosdokian. Now, this one's more like a tongue twister. Paraprosdokian. It is a play on words where the writer diverts from the expected ending of a sentence. In other words, the writer starts a sentence with a predictable ending, but then supplies a new unexpected ending that complicates the original meanings of the words and surprises the reader. I mean, that's your purpose anyway. That was your aim. That was your agenda. Okay, and this one here, portmanteau. Okay, so not the regular portmanteau box of you carry when you want to travel and all that. Here, go check it out. Okay, and then prove me wrong. Okay, so it is, yes, there is that aspect of it, but there is this one I want to use as well. A portmanteau is a word which combines two distinct words in both sound and meaning. Smog, for example, is a portmanteau of both smoke and fog. Okay, you have brunch, for instance, breakfast and lunch. I think I heard that while I was in secondary school, and it felt neat. It sounded neat. It sounded new. But it's portmanteau. You're welcome. Okay. There is also the fanzine, fan magazine. They say telethon. Okay, so you have your telephone marathon. Okay, telethon. There is the vlog. You're used to that one. Video. And of course, your blog. Now, the blog, of course, is your web and your log. Okay. There is webinar, the web and the seminar, right? So marrying words like that. And someone was trying to tell me, okay, so is that where you conceived prioritize from? I refuse to be confused because I was saying it's a pun, but now we're seeing portmanteau come to play. Okay, very quickly, let's talk about puns. We'll wrap it up, and then I'll leave you to tell me in the comment section right there if you're watching us on YouTube at Western Spring Television NG. Let us know which one do you think carries more weight for our mandate for this new season, which is prioritize. So which one carries more weight in the play of words or wordplay? Is it the portmanteau or is it the pun? I'll just define the pun and I'll let you decide right there. A pun, also known as paronomasia, is a form of wordplay that exploits multiple meanings of a term or a similar sounding word for humorous or rhetorical effect. Is it really humorous? Yeah, it's humorous, but I really want us to get serious because these eyes are very important. And here, valid viewer, is where we get to draw the curtain on the bookshelf for today. We'll see you next time doing it bigger and better. Remember to prioritize. We'll talk about, remember we said we'd also be bringing on the, aside the academic, the medical aspect of prioritize. And we've done one, so we look forward to doing more as we are marvelously helped. Thank you very sincerely for following through. And do remember to share this word with so many other persons so that together we all can be better. My name is Damilola Raphael. Until next time, it's goodbye and God bless.